Hello. I just wanted to go over for a few minutes the Seeds of Hope planning portion of the curriculum where we discuss how gardening can be helpful in determining their life path. The first thing that we will address will be passion. These are things that ignite the students' enthusiasm. Things that make them feel alive, things that make them feel like they're doing good, things that they just have a natural desire to want to do. Now, in gardening, that would be determining whether you want to plant vegetables, flowers, trees, houseplants, any number of things like that. Now, skills would be the second area that they need to look at. These are their natural born abilities. Athletics, academics, creativity, social skills, things that they are easily prone to do well. In gardening, that would be just, can you put dirt in a pot and water it on a regular basis? Just simple things to them. Learning would be the third portion. What is something that they have always wanted to learn? They felt like they'd be good at it, but they've never tried it, and they want to learn about it. This portion is more about trial and error. These are areas where they think they might be good, but they're not sure, and they may challenge them a little bit. So maybe in gardening that would mean learning more in depth about certain plants, about certain varieties, and understanding more about maybe botany and how the plant functions. Or maybe it's more about pest control or things of that nature. So the more advanced portion of perhaps their desired career. So while those are the main things, obviously we'll be touching on SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, timed goals, which is a great tool for setting specific timelines. In other words, if they're in school now, maybe they're a sophomore or a junior in high school, maybe they need to think about dual enrollment or AP classes, or maybe they need to take classes that are related to a certain skill, like welding or hairdressing or something of that nature. So that would be their learned growth potential. Now, in order to have goals, you need to be realistic about your goals, which is addressed in the SMART goal format. But you need to be thinking ahead of time about how much effort is it going to take? How much work are you willing to be putting in? Are you going to give up? Do you have a history of not following through? So you need to do the research on what it's going to take, how long it's going to take, and determine whether or not you're willing to put that amount of effort into it. Another thing you need to think about is ethics. So ethically speaking, maybe social media influencers are tempted to do things outside of what they were grown up learning as ethical things. Perhaps there are certain things you might feel like you have to say that defy maybe your Christianity. So you need to think about those things, and you need to look at other influencers and see if you're willing to do what society, because you'd be a social influencer, wants you to comply with. So just as an example. energy. So not only would you need to put in the work, but you need to know physically, mentally, what it's going to take. So, I mean, if you want to be an attorney, you need to understand how long it's going to take to be an attorney and how rigorous the hours are, and are you willing to stay up to the next day trying to do research for an attorney so that they can present their case. So, I mean, so you need to understand what is involved, and it's actually a realistic approach to thinking that, they're just going to go through law school, bing, bang, boom, and they're going to have this high paying job that is going to make them a millionaire. So it's kind of a realistic breakdown of the goals. So, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Obviously, there will be stories. We will do activities. The activities planned for this particular one is we have 2 different projects, and that depends on whether your student is a creative, artistic kind of person, or if they're more mentally list-minded individual. It's similar to a vision board, but realistically, we can't cut out magazine pictures anymore. So the creatives can, draw a tree and have leaves on the tree that specify different things. Or if they think that's hokey and I don't want to do that, there is a more journaling type, goal setting type of project. Personally, for me, I'm a little bit of both. I posted a picture on here of my smart goal board, and there's also a little snippet of my journal for planning the garden. So my plan of the garden basically is a layout design of where things go, what kind of light they need, how tall the plants get, how much space they need, whether or not they need protection from sun or bugs, or, so it is an ongoing journal of what I've accomplished, what didn't work right, what I need to do better. So this to me is helpful in the garden. It will be helpful to them in life, and I just want to share it with them. So I hope that helps you understand what the first portion of the curriculum will be. And if you have any questions, you can always message me. Have a great day, a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.